Our reading for the morning is adapted from the words of my friend and colleague, Unitarian Universalist minister Kim Beach, from a little book of his, a rather wise one, entitled, "If Yes is the Answer, What is the Question?" This passage on finite freedom. To acknowledge tragedy and evil in the world and not lose heart. To suffer and yet sustain a confident goodwill requires of us an ever-deepening understanding of the human condition we share. We never begin with a clean slate. Rather, it is up to each of us individually and to each of our communities to clean our slates when and as we can, to make new beginnings again and again and again. For we are born free, to be sure, but we are thrust immediately into history in all of its messiness. Thus, Abraham Lincoln meditated on history and called for a new birth of freedom. And theologian Paul Tillich named our human condition finite freedom and our persistent need a new being. We are free, Tillich said, but finite. We have untold possibilities, but we are limited by our own cultural myopia and physical frailties, by the fallibility of our moral judgments and the fear of our own mortality. We tend to deny aspects of reality and behave as if we could be exceptions to the rules that govern ordinary mortal life, learning only slowly that imagining ourselves to be exceptions to the human condition is simply the stuff that further tragedies are made of. The great psychotherapist Viktor Frankl found the real, though finite, freedom of the human spirit when his was physically most confined in a Nazi concentration camp. Woe to those who saw no more sense in life, he wrote, no aim or purpose, and therefore no point in carrying on. They were the ones soonest lost, saying, I have nothing to expect from life anymore. What we had to learn is that it did not really matter what we expected from life, but rather what life might still expect from us. We needed to stop asking questions about life and its meaning and instead think of ourselves as being constantly questioned, daily, hourly, moment to moment. The thought crossed my mind that I didn't even know if my own wife were still alive. I knew only this one thing, that the love I felt goes very far beyond the physical presence of the beloved and finds its deepest meaning anchored in our spiritual being, in our inner self. And one evening when we were resting on the floor of our hut, dead tired, a fellow prisoner came in and asked us all to run out to see the sunset. The whole sky before us was filled with ever-changing color and shape, while puddles on the muddy ground just reflected the glow. The glow. And after minutes of moving silence, one of our number declared, "How beautiful. How beautiful it all is and can be." There are two capacities that sustain us and allow us to resist dehumanization and to use our finite freedom well. The capacity to sustain within us a love that transcends the moment, and the capacity to respond at every moment to the unmerited beauty that is being itself. There ends our reading.